Session 384, December 4, 1967, 10:15 p.m., Monday. Rob noted, this session is deleted from the record. Jen and I engaged in a long discussion this evening, covering a lot of ground concerning her symptoms, my role, her lingering and bothersome symptom hang-ons. Much of what we talked about is developed in the brief session that followed. For the first time, however, Jane gave voice to some doubts about the sessions that I had not realized she entertained. The purpose of the discussion was to unearth any reasons for the symptoms that we hadn't touched upon. And we struck pay dirt here. These sessions are uniformly beneficial. I did not expect a session to follow the discussion, but at 10:15, Jane announced she could hold one. She began speaking in trance in a quiet voice, with a few pauses, eyes open often. She said, "Now I shall be brief, as you are tired." This was not the whole problem. It is merely the portion of the problem that still remains. It has been there since the first. Rob noted Jane's intellectual reluctance to wholeheartedly accept the sessions and all they implied. She said, Rupert was strongly committed to the sessions on the one hand, and highly skeptical on the other. Your own illness did literally terrify him, and he feared that if he faced his true doubts concerning my existence, that he would hurt you. Rob noted, pause. Jane gives the sessions credit for ending my own serious illness in 1963. Seth said, his own inner belief in the sessions was strong, and is still strong, but the other conflict continued. The spontaneous self is learning to manipulate and maneuver within the somewhat rigid ego limitations. Yet the ego has also expanded, and has allowed channels to open. The classes ESP are a means to that end. We will have a freer hand since Rupert has vocalized some of his doubts. Before he was reluctant to do so as clearly as he did this evening. Had there been a strong or powerful overall threat to Rupert, I would have discontinued the sessions. These are growing pains that are already passing. Now, if you have any questions, I will answer them. I simply wanted you to have my statement on this evening's discussion. Rob asked, how much of a part is Jane's past life misuse of her psychic abilities playing in this life? Seth said, simply that this time, he must work harder to accept the abilities that last time he took so for granted and misused. Rob asked, was this in Boston? Seth said, this was. Rob asked, in what way were they misused? Seth said, he used them indiscriminately. Wait now. He let them run away with him, and is doubly afraid now. He used little common sense, and was overly emotional, reading signs where they were none, and ignoring the fine intellect that he had even then. Rob asked, was he male or female? Seth said, this is an open conversation, you see. Rob asked, was he male or female? Seth said, This is also the reason for his strong reaction concerning spiritualism. He fears overindulgence. He operated as a professional medium on Gunip Street, perhaps 451, or any sequence of those numbers. His own mother in this life had and has abilities. He was frightened of her, you see, and therefore frightened of the abilities. There is a growing acceptance on the part of the whole personality now, as he sees these abilities help others. His students, for example, he grows to trust them more. He was never afraid of me. He was afraid for portions of himself, for reasons having little to do with me, per se. The spontaneous self he was afraid of. The conscientious self becomes much more pleased as time goes on and others are helped. It is Ruber's nature, you see, to accept heartily or to disagree heartily, to plunge headlong into or to run from, and the psychic developments made it impossible for him to do either. Or rather, his reactions made wholehearted acceptance or rejection impossible. This put him in another land, to him highly unacceptable. Ram noted, and here, probably, is the key to the whole dilemma. It is not his early complete acceptance of the Catholic Church that is a block here. It is his disillusionment with the Church that followed. For this led him to skepticism, and to a distrust of spiritual matters. You are tired. You may end the session or break as you prefer. I have said what I felt necessary. So do as you wish. You feel my presence, you see, because you allow yourself to do so. Ram noted one of the points we discussed before the session. Seth said, Ruber feels my presence now, and during many sessions, and he knows it well. Often he simply distrusts what he feels, but the feeling is primary. The help that the sessions afforded you has been given. It has happened. It is not reversible. You have taken it and used it and made it a part of yourself. Ruber need have no doubts there. For himself, he knows that he will continue. That his improvement is definite, though the decision is his. I have never come when I was not wanted, nor would I. I am with you now, though our voice is mild enough, very strongly this evening, and I am taking an effort to make my presence known quite definitely to you and to Ruber. And I shall do this more frequently to build up Ruber's confidence. He does not realize the full strength of his psychic acquiescence, you see, which is far superior to his egotistical half-denials. Now, do as you prefer. Rob said, we'll take a short break. Rob noted, actually this was the end of the session.